Many years ago, when I was but a wee lad of 3, I was wandering through the streets of London, Nebraska late at night, when I stumbled on something strange, something bizarre, something odd, something not normal. There was a weird little man with a majestically luscious mustache and a fat, bulbous nose. He was carrying a wrench in his overalls pocket, so I immediately deduced with my hyper-intelligent 3-year-old mind that he was a plumber. Upon his throbbing head rested a hat, adorned with a big capital M. I walked up to this strange man, as he was the only other one on this empty night street, and asked the question that had wiggled its way down from the folds of my brain onto my trembling lips.
Does the M stand for plumber?
I said, being too stupid and 3-year-oldish to know that M is not P. He turned to me, and his mustache quivered as those massive blue eyes gazed into my very soul. "Why, you know," he said in a thick Italian accent, "it's me, Mario." I started in surprise. Could this be the Mario? The Mario of legend who scaled a massive scaffolding structure to save a princess from an ape that was hurling barrels?
I don't know if I believe you,
I said at last.
Prove it.
Mario's bulbous nose twitched, and he placed a massive white gloved hand on my shoulder and said softly, "If you doubt me, I can ground pound your silly little head right here on the now."
That won't be necessary. How about you ground pound a bully for me?
Well, normally I'd refuse, but I'm feeling particularly bloodthirsty tonight. Who is this bully?
My brother. He always messes with my epic and amazing Lego brand Duplo copyright registered creations.
"Good enough for me," he said, a gleam in his immaculately trimmed mustache. "Let's go!" I led Mario down many a dimly lit street. Rats scurried away from the pitter-patter of his large boots as we approached my home where I lived. Once inside the gaping doorway, we saw my stupid, dumb, idiot brother messing with my Lego brand Duplo copyright registered house that I had spent 5 minutes making earlier that day. "Who the flippin' flop is this guy?" asked my dumb brother stupidly. Mario pitter-pattered to my brother menacingly, who then stood up to his full height, about 3 feet above the tippity-top of Mario's hat. Mario cracked his big, smelly knuckles, stared into my brother's pathetic eyes, and said, "It's me, fricka-heckin' Mario." With that, Mario leapt on high, a full 6 feet 2 inches, and with a massive crunch, slammed his round bottom onto my brother's head. I cheered, but before I could fully embrace my ecstasy, my parents, who had heard the commotion, ran into the room and saw the squat little Mario man standing on the remains of their oldest son, and they screamed. Mario turned towards me, and I simply nodded. Without wasting another second, Mario ate an odd-looking flower, which turned his overalls and hat white. Then with a loud "Wahoo!" cast balls of flame from his hands, incinerating my parents instantly. I cheered again, and Mario turned once again toward me. "So, why the heck did you want me to kill your parents too?"
They wouldn't buy me more Lego brand Duplo registered copyright.
Mario nodded in understanding. "Anyway," he said, clearing his throat, "you don't have a family anymore. Care to join me? Want to become my little brother?" I stared at Mario, dumbfounded, my sparkling child eyes massive and warbling with wonder.
You really mean it?
"Why, yes. You can come save princesses with me. Now what do you say?
Yes, of course,
I said, a massive grin on my little face. Splendid, said Mario, and with a click of his mustache he brandished forth blue overalls and a green hat adorned with a large capital L. You will have to change your name, of course. Let's call you Luigi.
I'd be honored to be Luigi, the brother of Mario,
I said, putting on the new clothes. Wonderful! We will be the Super Mario Bros. Come on now, let's go! So together, I left that dumb old house with my new brother as we leapt through the London streets. Near dawn, Mario ushered me over to a sewer pipe, but it was no ordinary sewer pipe. It was big and green, and inside was a deep, deep darkness like no other I'd ever seen before. Get in, he said. Scared, I looked into his scarily large blue eyes and immediately understood. This was my first test. Mustering my courage, I hopped into the pipe, and with an oddly bit-crushed sound, descended into the depths below. I knew not what happened next. I drifted through the darkness for what seemed like an eternity. Eventually, though, I saw a light above me that I was steadily moving towards. I squinted my eyes against the brilliance and emerged from another green pipe in a strange, vibrant world. The pipe spat me out onto the ground, and behind me leapt Mario. Welcome, he said, hand on my shoulder, gesturing to the landscape before me with his other hand, to the Mushroom Kingdom. In the following years, me and Mario would go on many crazy adventures together, most of which have been adapted into video games by Nintendo America Company LLC Incorporated. As for where we are now, sadly Mario passed away last year from an accidental overdose on psychedelic mushrooms. Following this tremendous loss, I hung up my hat and overalls as Luigi, and returned to the normal human world to start a new life as a street corner hot dog vendor. The end.